I was going to say East can tell that his partner doesn't have the Jack of Hearts because he led the 7 through. If he had the Jack, he might even have led it to hold the lead if the King isn't put up, or he would have at any rate led usually a low spot card from 3 to the Jack. If Declarer's got the Jack, then it's equals with the King and he's not losing anything by cashing the Ace of Hearts.
Yeah, the only thing is here that South is dummy, so the Jack is visible in dummy.
What a most excellent point. Most of the bridge hands I see are in books or magazines where, of course, South is always the declarer. It's an absolute pet hate of mine that bridge writers who put rotated for the reader's convenience on 3/4 of the hands. Everyone in the world interested in bridge knows that declarer is always going to be South, so what a total waste of time to put that. You're not even saying who was sitting South, you're just saying it wasn't South actually who was the original declarer, but I'm not going to tell you who it was.
But isn't it amazing that you can make a grand slam here, and the King of Clubs is even wasted in the North Hand? It's truly amazing.
It's equally amazing that South didn't double on his hand.
One club is strong, so normal process when over a strong club is to pass with strong hand.
Exactly. With strong hands to tend to keep out of the auction for a while.
It'll be pretty spectacular if he passes on the first round and then raises 1 heart to six hearts. I look forward to that.
If his partner had jumped 2 hearts, I think you'd have at least 6 hearts on the table, wouldn't you? But over 1 heart...
You know you have 6 opposite, Paul. You have a 16-18 hand to your right. So what can partner have for his overcall? Not many high cards, so that must be compensated by trump length.
I think we'd all bid on King, Queen, Jack to 5 on this auction, just to get the bid in, to show the lead. I don't think he's shown 6.
You can imagine that South may bid, say, a splinter bid of 4 clubs, but it's a bit of a waste of time because he knows that his partner's not going to be able to cooperate when he's the one looking at as many as 4 first-round controls. So really 1 slam try will not be enough on the South cards if indeed he thinks of a slam at all.
Yeah, and the splinter bid will definitely not encourage Bathurst. Even though he has a diamond control, he will retreat to 4 hearts. He knows the King of Clubs is wasted. How can partner ever have enough for slam to make?
Well, you might just be talking like an old man, Roland. I mean, these young players have shown a great propensity for getting these situations right more often than wrong, both in the US trials and to get here. I don't think he's thinking, oh, I must bid 4 hearts immediately, even though I would.
Okay, call me an old man. He did bid 4 hearts.
He did, but perhaps with more consideration than us old men would have done.
Well, you surely weren't debating whether he would bid 4 hearts or not, were you? That's totally obvious on the North cards. If that's what Roland said, then I'm an old man too.
But, I mean, Paul must have implied that he could bid 4 diamonds.
The point of a splinter bid is it's not really a strong slam try, it's just sort of explaining why you're going to 4 hearts in case partner happens to be particularly strong. That's why it's recommended in normal bidding that 1 heart 4 clubs is a limited bid. You shouldn't have 16. more likely 10, 11, 12, and you're telling partner there's only a slam if we've got a really good fit. That's why I said that 4 clubs wouldn't get the job done on this hand, and if he wanted to investigate a slam, he'd have to try again over 4 hearts. I was going to ask you a trivia question, Roland, not an easy one to answer, I dare say, but of the times which the USA has won the Bermuda Bowl, how many times was it the USA 2 team that claimed the victory?
I'm sorry, David, I don't have that info on hand, so I'll have to look it up. After all, I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Oh, shock horror. We all thought that you were.
Well, David, you sound like a man who's got the answer. What is the answer?
I don't have any answers whatever about the history of bridge, and certainly not which year something happened. I never remember any years in my own life. It just amazes me when people say in 1982 we moved to Canada or something. How on earth do they remember years like that? I can't do it.
But you do remember your wedding day, don't you? If you don't tell anyone.
As it happens, my wedding day is the day before Valentine's Day, or the day after. I can't remember. So, interesting. Now get to discuss, tell about the last train convention. Because 4 spades is last train. Partner, I'm interested in slam, but I'm not quite good enough to take an initiative.
Are you sure that I thought only the lowest cubic could be last train?
No, you misunderstood that, Peter. It's normally the suit below the trump suit, and 4 spades are below, just 1 step below the agreed suit, clubs.
Okay, because I've seen sometimes...
Sure. I don't know if I agree with that last train. I think that's just a cue bid. 4 spades is a cue. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, 4 clubs, 4. 4 spades here is a cue bid, the ace of spades.
Well, I just clicked on the bid now. Try to click on 4 spades. What does it say? It says last train, so obviously in the room it was explained as last train.
Nothing's... But I bet meant it as a cue bid.
Why would the operator write last train if it wasn't explained as last train? Well, he doesn't make it up.
Perhaps East alerted it as last train. Could East alert it as last train?
Okay.
For sure, East couldn't bid 6 clubs here if he don't have a cubic, one of the aces in the majors.
It makes a lot more sense for it to be a cue bid, absolutely. East needs to know that West is going to cue bid 1 major suit. So there's something wrong with the system if you can't cue bid the ace of spades, because ace of spades is last train.
But I'm sorry. Now looking at the East cards, how can partner make a slam try, last train, slam try, without an ace? Look again. How can he have a slam try?
Yeah, I agree with you. We can see that on this particular hand that West can't make a slam. He must have an ace on this particular hand, but there would be other hands that East has that he wouldn't know that.
And I'm absolutely confident with if West's values was only queens and jacks, queen jack of heart, queen jack of diamond, queen jack of spade, 9 high card point, over 4 diamond, he would bid 5 clubs.
Well, exactly. And that's why 4 spades will show an ace.
And then the explanation last train is nonsense here.
Now, we have a spectator in the room, and I just got this from him. I asked the operator about last train, and it was written down on the pad, last train. So as I told you, it isn't something our operator made up.
For sure not. I don't think anyone expected that, but it's strange for me to use that term on that bit here. For me, it's just a normal tube bit.
Well, it doesn't really matter what it is for you, Peter, I'm sorry. But Brink himself wrote last train, and he was the one who bid 4 spades. So how can you contest that?
We have seen more strange things here. The two of heart lead and 2 13 points, no thumbs openings and so on.
But Peter, we have live video, and we could see on the pad that Brink wrote last train. Well, maybe you don't believe me. Well, there's nothing I can do.
For sure I believe you, but I just don't understand it.
Well, that's different. You don't understand? Fine.
He also denies a heart crew bid. Now, it did deny a heart crew bid. Everyone were all in agreement. He didn't have a heart to queue. So if we're saying it denied a heart crew bid, then the likelihood is it's a spade queue bid. If there's no heart to queue, it has to be either a spade to queue or a diamond to queue.
And I see in the written commentators, they are also in doubt about that sequence and that explanation, and they say maybe they have another definition of last train.
Okay, yeah. Never mind, it's all over. It was a fine board for the Netherlands. Again, lots of imps. And they seem to have a different definition of last train in the Netherlands.
Now the auction's going to give him a blueprint. He's going to guess diamonds correctly, because if he plays clubs first and South shows up with the ace of clubs and eventually the king of spades, he's going to know North for his double has the ace of diamonds. So if he plays a club down to dummy, which I suspect he might, and South wins it, declarer will make the contract by later guessing diamonds correctly. If South ducks the club, which he should if North gives count, maybe we'll see them set it with a club ruff. Oh no, but if South ducks the club, declarer can now play the king of hearts and throw a club and still make it by guessing the diamond. So here we go. Let's say South takes this. Well, then declarer is going to finesse the spade and drop spades and guess diamonds. So, but if he ducked it, declarer could throw a club on the king of hearts to survive, but he might throw a diamond.
Sorry, Larry, to interrupt you, but won't a diamond now defeat the contract? I know it's difficult to find, but it will, actually.
How's that?
Won't you get 2 trump tricks then? What are you going to do?
Oh, you mean a diamond and then an uppercut? Oh, wait a minute. You mean a diamond and a diamond and then a spade to the 10 and queen and then another diamond to promote a trump trick?
Exactly. It's double dummy, all right, but it's possible.
I got you.
That would
diamond to the ace, another diamond to the king, and then when South plays a spade to the 10 and queen, another diamond, trump with the king, over trump with the ace and the 9 of spades set up. Oh, it's good to be looking at all the cards. Can Dubois find that in real life? Let's see.
I doubt it. What's difficult?
Well, what are his other chances? Oh, there he goes. What other chance does he have? This could be a brilliant defense.
Wow, this is one for the bulletin, isn't it? Promoting the 9 spades.
So. This is brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. And Samantha just knows partner has the king of spades now.
Oh my goodness, boy, was that beautiful. Well, who's ever writing the bulletin should write this up. And we'll say that Roland spotted it first, just so the record, since we're talking and not writing, I'll let the record show that you found it, Roland. Very good.
Thank you very much.
That was pretty.
Well, it was worth the entry fee, I must say. So we know that both pairs play a natural system. The Italians 5-card majors and a strong no trump. Lots of gadgets, of course, one of which is the Gazzilli convention. And I will obviously explain what that's all about if it comes up. When it does, if it does, I'll also give you a link to 18 pages of system notes for Gazzilli only.
Rather similar with Swedish hexam, isn't it, Roland?
Oh yes, but it is a bit more sophisticated, Ralph. It is true that the Swedes had something similar, known as hexam in Swedish. Means the witch. Very scary.
Are you expecting there to be any viewers who would rather read all 16 pages of that than see the last 16 boards of this semi-final, Roland? Are there any of them mad enough?
No. Well, not during play here, of course, but they may want to bookmark it and have a look at it later. Well, I know you don't know what bookmark is, David, but some do.
No, I must look it up. It sounds a really valuable technique. You know, I'd love to read 16-page documents on some convention that I'm never going to use.
It was actually 18.
Well, I also failed to make a note of that wonderful website you mentioned that explained 9 different meanings of the Curse of Scotland.
I was keeping quiet in your discussion about what West should do because I have to admit I would have just bid one heart with that hand. I'm uncomfortable with preempting with such a good hand, essentially, in particular the 2 aces.
You mean 2 hearts?
Oh,
unless they have
cancel that.
Unless they have different rules in Melbourne, I don't think so.
Okay, well, we're in the southern hemisphere. The water goes down the bathtub a different way. We can bid 1 heart over 1 spade. I wish I hadn't bought into this conversation at all. They don't save these voice commentaries, do they, Roland? They get discarded pretty quickly, I hope.